Hi, and welcome back to Blue's Garden. I am tackling a few major tasks and some little things. First big thing is I am planting some blueberry bushes. I'm doing a early season and a mid season, two different varieties. Next thing is I am expanding the garden. I am moving where I plant all the peppers. So that means I will be adding 14 more grow bags. I tend to grow the peppers in either a 5 or a 7 gallon grow bag, fabric grow bag. So expanding where I place my peppers. I am tackling some sweet potato, the slips that I've been growing from some sweet potato. And I am also planting outside 3 different kinds of lettuce. So, first up, let's take a look at the blueberries. I'm not sure if anybody needs to know this, or if you don't know it, but blueberries do better when you have at least 2 varieties. And I'm going to grow a Northland, which is a mid-season blueberry, and a Patriot, which is an early season. So in the bottom of my 30-gallon grow bag, I am going to add in about a third of the bag has now got soil in it and some soil acidifier, which is basically a sulfur. I put the pot in, and now I'm going to use this extra dirt from my last year's grow bags that's been refreshed. And I'm going to fill in around that 1-gallon grow pot. Might be 2 gallons, I don't know, but the blueberry pot. And the reason I do this is now I have the perfect hole at the correct height so that the crown of the blueberry is not buried. So here's the perfect hole that will fit my transplanted blueberry. Now I'm going to take the blueberry, I'm going to tap on the sides so that I can loosen up the pot from the root ball. Just get rid of the pot. And then slip this in, and it is a perfect fit. I like growing fruit in the grow bags because it is well draining. So that is the Patriot, which is the early season blueberry. Hardy for zones 3 to 7, and here in New England, that's perfect. I am in the bottom of the next pot, so it's got 1/3 soil. I'm going to add in some of the acidifier, which is a sulfur. And I'm going to mix in some soil. I did the same thing for the first one, the first grow bag. So now this is the bottom third to almost half of the grow bag. Again, put the blueberry, which is Northland, which is my mid-season, in. And I'm going to fill in around. This is the tap the sides. I will loosen the root ball up from the plant, or from the plastic pot. And I will remove the pot into the perfect hole. Make sure there's good coverage, soil contact. And now that is the Northland, which is the mid-season. I will add it at some point, a late season blueberry. That's 3. So right now I have 2. I'll have 3 with the late season, and then I will add 1 of each again next season. So a little more soil acidifier. Here are the first 2. Those are the blueberry. That task done. Now let's take a look at the peppers. This is expanding where I grow, the number of pots, fabric grow pots, grow bags that I grow in, and dealing with the peppers. So these are all 5 and 7 gallon grow bags that will all contain peppers eventually. So the footprint of the garden is going to grow. These are the pepper bags that I used last year. Most of them are, about half of them are empty, 5 and 7 gallon, depending on which pepper they are. I'm going to end up with a total of 14. They used to be right next to my garlic and onion. I'm going to measure for some space. And then first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to lay down a layer of cardboard. Actually, it doesn't show it, but I actually did pull the plastic off any of this. So, total of 14 grow bags, because this will be the new home of peppers. Add in some mulch. Grow bags are ready. I need to mix up some new dirt and some compost when I do finally transplant. So, that task done, let's take a look at taking care of the lettuce. I'm going to put 3 different kinds of lettuce seeds in. These are actually all outdoors. I still have my lettuces growing indoors, but as I cut those and use them for salads, I want to have a whole batch of stuff that I've got started now, so that when it's time to harvest, or when I'm finished harvesting indoors, I can just transition right to the ones that are growing outdoors. I have a odd-shaped, rectangular-shaped former milk crate. And this rectangular-shaped milk crate I've lined with some cardboard so it doesn't completely empty. And now I'm going to add in some soil. This is last year's soil from the grow bags that has been refreshed with some fertilizer. And has a little bit of compost in it as well. So that's the compost. I'm just sort of mixing things in. Clear out the bigger pieces and bits. And this will be sort of a large, instead of a large rectangular pot that I'm growing my lettuces in. These are some lettuce seeds. This is, and I'm just going to lightly sort of scratch them into the surface. This is the salad bowl mix. The next one I'm going to put in, let's get these bits out of the way. Those will go back in the compost bin. And again, just lightly scratch them into the surface. And that is a red romaine leaf lettuce. And this is a Little Gem butterhead. Little small 3-inch-ish heads. 3 different lettuces. And big task is the sweet potato slips. I've had some sweet potato that I've been growing some slips from. This is all about what's the next step. Now that you've got your sweet potatoes with some slips growing, what's next? All right, so a while back, I think it's about 2 months now, I put some sweet potato in some potting soil and kept it well watered. And the result is the organic sweet potato grew some eyes. I snapped the sweet potato off, the slips off of the sweet potato, try and salvage as much of the root that is grown underneath the sweet potatoes. I am going to put these slips in some water. I'm not shaking all the dirt out, just some of it. And most of the dirt stays, and then into the jar of water so that the roots stay wet, and in a day or two they'll go out into a 25-gallon grow bag. So of the 3 sweet potatoes, 1 got 0. 1 was very successful with a very big slip, and then one has just a tiny one. So of the 3 slips that came in, there's really 4 slips. I took the 2 healthiest slips from the 1 sweet potato, and I am rooting them in some water, and they'll go outside. And finally, a tour of the indoor grow shelves, what's still going on, where we're at with some, and what's happening with the new ones. Grow light shelf. This is a short little tour. Up top, I've got some squashes and zucchinis, and in the background there are some lavender growing, squash, zucchini. This is my indoor lettuce and some beet greens. Next up is nasturtium to the extreme right, and 6 varieties of onion and some leeks. There's some tomato growing, those are Roma. And more, there's those sweet potato slips. These are slicer tomatoes and some cherry tomatoes. And down the bottom are some herbs growing, and the largest batch of Roma, 2 different kinds. Outside is the garlic growing, coming along very nicely, has been fertilized and refreshed. This is actually just a small tidbit of what happened this week. Not shown, turning the compost pile, which is a weekly chore at this point. Fertilizing, so I have grow bags, a gazillion grow bags, but adding some fertilizer into where the squash will go, the soil where the new pepper bags, that got some fertilizer to refresh it, and then the soil popped in. Those grow bags, the 14, the new ones. The tomato grow bags got a round of fertilizer in a bin, a big wheelbarrow. I actually took some of the compost out of one of my compost bins, finished compost, and some Pro Mix, mixed that together, and some fertilizer. That will go towards topping up the cherry tomatoes and plum type, Roma, San Marzano, etc., and the slicer type, beefsteak type tomatoes. So just mixed up a big bag of outdoor garden soil. So, got a lot done. Feel good. Accomplished some good tasks. Some of which you saw on here on video, and some of the tidbits may show up in other videos to come. So probably the most likely thing will be, for instance, when I show you transplanting the tomatoes out, you'll see the handful of fertilizer going on, or when the squash is getting transplanted out, the fertilizer that I use for that. So anyway, if you've made it this far, congratulations. More power to you. Please like, share, and subscribe. As you know, that really helps the almighty algorithm. And that helps me grow, and that helps you grow. So thank you very much.